So, oh, it looks like we're already starting.
Whoa,
That's
that was
nice.
fast.
Yeah, so they'll be making their way through Escape, the definitively boring and awful section of the game. So we'll have time to talk a bit about the players, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I think you probably know both runnerwatcher and Trogdor better than I do. So if you want to talk a bit about them.
Yeah, runnerwatcher. runnerwatcher is probably one of my oldest friends in the speedrun community. We met in, I guess, fall 2013. So we've known each other almost 5 years now. It's pretty crazy to me. But yeah, he's been speedrunning this game since the summer of 2013, I believe. He's taken a lot of long breaks, including a long break leading up to this tournament. Like, this tournament's really the first time he's been playing the game in a while. But he's got a 127 in this game, so he's pretty good. And then in the bottom right is Trogdor, who I've also known for a while, since 2014, I believe. He's a very good Mega Man X2 runner, one of the best. I think he has the top 3 time in the game. But he's also learned this game when he's competing in this tourney. We'll see how he goes against... Yeah, we'll see how he goes up against RW.
Yeah. Then up top we've got tbham, who has currently a 134. I think he's gotten a few PBs over the course of this, or at least 1 or 2 maybe, over the course of this tournament. So I would watch out for him too, because I think like he could be easily on PB watch. I said that as he falls down a hole. Whoops. But no, I think he's definitely on PB watch. He has his PBs like recently have had like really like big time losses in them, and he's still getting big PBs. So he's definitely capable of doing much better. So I would definitely watch out for him. He is also maybe not the brother of one of our tournament organizers, known as Greenham. So yeah, that's a fun fact. We also have Aweglib, who I guess he's been speedrunning for quite some time now. He's done, he's done SMB3, I know that for sure. And I think he does some other... I thought he did some other Mario games too, but SMB3 is definitely like his main game, I guess. And then he learned this game. He learned 100%, I think, first actually before he learned NMG, and he says he learned it because he doesn't like fun, which is very true about 100%. So yeah, he learned that first, and then got into this, joined the tournament, and if I didn't say it before, he's got a 140-144 PB. So we'll see. Anything can happen in any of these races, of course. We always say that. And yeah, could be anyone's game, really.
It's pronounced Aweglib, Emma, you know?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Aweglib. I mean, Aweglib for mispronouncing your name. All right, looks like we're just trying to get everybody synced up here. Unless we just lost 3 people. That would be pretty crazy.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if we lost RW because he streams from a potato.
Well, apparently he's going to prom, so I think he'd probably just bailed completely.
Oh, you didn't know that this game is about going to prom.
Yeah.
According to runnerwatcher.
Yeah. Yeah. This is exactly what my prom looked like. Fun fact.
You had rats wandering around in the
All
in
throughout high
some
school,
dark
even, actually.
basement.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
probably. Yeah. Trogdor not getting great key rat RNG there. Didn't go completely northwest, but was pretty far northwest. Everyone else got pretty decent RNG though. Both tbham and Aweglib.
They'll be all finishing up Escape. runnerwatcher with a pretty good time, I think. As is typical for him. I remember he used to brag about how he has one of the best escapes for his level of play.
Wow, that's something to be proud of.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep, and I imagine we're gonna get Sankart from everybody here.
Yeah, definitely. runnerwatcher's the only player who would probably even halfway consider it, but I know he really likes it as a safety.
Is that because it has your face on it?
No, he liked it long before it had my face on it.
Oh, okay. Now we got this long walk to Eastern. Really, the biggest thing to watch out for here is the Octorok field that runnerwatcher just passed through, that Trogdor's in now. And I guess just the pumping, I guess, matters mostly in the later part of this walk. Make sure you're double pumping up the stairs, and then pumping through. I don't even know what you call this. There's just this area here. Pumping up more stairs. And then guess what? You pump up more stairs.
Yeah, due to the way stair movement works, pumping is very strong on them. Like, you lose 2 or 3 seconds not pumping on this screen, so it's a pretty big deal.
That's a lot of seconds to lose from just not pumping.
Yeah. On normal ground, pumping is more of like a frame-saving thing that isn't really all that important. I know a lot of viewers of the game might hear about the mechanic for the first time. They're like, oh, the players are saving minutes pumping throughout the game, and it really isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah. Both tbham and Aweglib got the good RNG in the cannonball room. The cannonballs all being on the right side. That's pretty nice. Getting good skeleton runes from both of them. Meanwhile, we've got runnerwatcher coming up on the small key. And Trogdor very close behind, only a couple rooms behind. We're gonna high five out this door here.
High five. Yeah, runnerwatcher's entering actually the best room in the game for normal ground pumping. You can pump like this whole room, but it only adds up to like 15 frames or something. So that's like how slight of a time save normal pumping is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Ooh. Alright, so good big key skips from both of our bottom racers. tbham going for the slightly slower, but much safer and much more, well, I shouldn't really say safer, but more consistent strategy of damaging off the popos, or sorry, off the anti-fairies. Man, I can't talk today. Damaging off the anti-fairies and hitting the switch. Ooh, Runner Watcher.
Ooh, Runner Watcher in trouble.
Down to 1 heart here. He's got to be careful. I think the only thing that won't kill him is the cannonballs, right? And the Stalfos?
Yeah, the cannonballs won't. This section's really scary with a half heart, actually, because the room Runner Watcher's in right now can just kind of randomly hit you with, like, very little time to react. But with a full heart, it's less an issue. He grabs that extra heart pot for added safety.
Wow, cannonballs didn't even come near tbham. That's pretty lucky. Aweglib having pretty decent RNG as well. Didn't really bother him that much. Nice fights from both Runner Watcher and Trogdor. We've got tbham and Aweglib coming up right on that fight here.
Both doing the top right strat, which is the strat preferred by the vast majority of speedrunners.
Ooh, Aweglib unfortunately firing his arrow to the left there instead of down. Honestly, I think that's something that happens to everybody at least once. Just misfiring.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure. Okay, Runner Watcher's doing True Rupees. I'm not sure what Trogdor does. We'll see in a second. Oh, looks like he is doing Sahasrara Rupees. So in the back of Sahasrara's hut are these 100 rupees and 3 bombs you can also get optionally. You need 110 rupees leaving the light world to be able to open the first dungeon in the dark world. So players have 2 main routes to do that. And you saw one of them with Trogdor there going in the back of Sahasrara's hut. Runner Watcher and tbham, it looks like, as well, will be doing a different route that saves 6 or 7 seconds that we call Tree Rupees, and we'll talk some more about that when we're leaving Tower of Hera.
Yeah, so our 2 runners on the left will be doing Tree Rupees, and our 2 runners on the right will be doing, or have done Sahasrara Rupees. So you'll see a bit of a difference, I guess, in both of these races between the 2 racers' routes. And unfortunately, Aweglib getting hit by that Octorok, that's just bad luck. That guy's kind of a jerk. And this bridge is kind of awful too. There is a way to get past that bridge if you just hold up right.
Up left.
Screen. You know what? I have to like hold my controller physically to know like what buttons I'm pushing. Otherwise I'm like, I can't visualize it at all. If you hold up left through that screen transition, then you will move up 1 pixel and will be able to avoid those guys.
Trogdor getting the water dash.
Yeah, that slows you down a bit. Aweglib getting the 2nd spin speed out of the library. Saw he missed the first one and just abandoned it. But gets the 2nd one. Saves about half a second if you can get it right away.
Runner Watcher, of course, known for spamming the book as much as possible.
Yeah. So if you're wondering what you're hearing, it's Runner Watcher. Ooh, Aweglib getting hit by that bird, taking 2 hearts of damage.
Usually runners, even newer ones, aren't too scared with Desert Palace. It's pretty hard to accidentally die.
Yeah, I guess the biggest source of fear in this dungeon is the boss, Lanmo. I mean, not so much dying, but sometimes dying can be a problem. There's, you know, flying rocks and flying worms and... yeah. Ooh,
Oh
Aweglib
no.
down to 1.5 hearts here. Just gotta be careful.
Oh,
Thankfully
almost got hit there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Thankfully there's some pots in desert that have hearts. Oh, hopefully he knows where they are so you can stock up a little bit. Spamming the book saves nothing. It's just a thing, and yeah, that's another thing runnerwatcher does is lights that torch on his way out of the first part of desert. Which also saves no time.
It actually loses time.
Yeah.
Runnerwatcher is going to be coming up on the Lamolus boss fight, which is one of the hardest bosses in the game. It's going to be these 3 worms that come out of the ground. And you need to hit them with 4 arrow shots or 8 sword slashes to kill them. The first cycle, where they come up out of the ground, their spawn points in the room are set. So we have like a kind of a setup at the start. You'll see Bont's the top wall, who gets in a position to try and maximize his damage on that first wave. Didn't have a particularly good first wave, hopefully he can recover. Everything after that first cycle is completely random though.
Yeah, there are some ways that you can kind of, not really like predict where they're going, but can make like more of an educated guess. So, depending on where they spawn in the room, and Josh, you're probably going to be better at explaining this than I am, but depending where they spawn in the room, you can usually tell or guess which way they might go. So if they're spawning more at like the bottom of the room, then they're more likely to go up because there's just more space. And likewise, if they're spawning at the top of the room, they're more likely to go down.
Yeah.
You probably know more about that if you want to explain more.
Oh yeah, you're exactly right. It's just if they spawn at in the top part of the room, you know, there's so many more destinations for them at the bottom. They're more likely to have a downward movement.
Ooh, Trogdor getting 2 land modes with 1 sword swipe, killing all 3 in the same cycle. I also noticed that he did the bomb strats on Landmo, which is an old strategy. I think that was probably before tree rupees were found that people were doing that, right? Because they could grab the bombs in Sahasrar's hut.
Yeah, and the bombs do the damage of excuse me, the bombs do the damage of an arrow shot. So they're actually pretty powerful if you have them.
And that cactus dash?
Yeah. Trogdor busting out the cactus dash. That is a 2-pixel window, which, since you dash at 4 pixels per frame, it turns out that's frame perfect.
And he's doing West Side Breeze.
Yeah, I think he has been scarred from fake flippers because of his first race. This is an odd route, Trogdor. Where are we going?
I guess we're taking a little detour. He's showing you around. Here's his house. Here's a sign. Here's the castle. That's the green guard. Hey, look, a fairy! Those are his friends in the grass. Oh, it's his favorite bush that he picked up.
That was a good screen there, though. He did the right strategy in the West Side Breeze to minimize lag. Those lost 2012 strats.
Yeah. It's nice to see some of those old strategies, though. Runnerwatcher almost getting hit by both a cabbage and a squirrel on Death Mountain, but manages to avoid both of them. If you have the spin speed state and you get hit while you're in that state, then you actually, I guess you lose your speed, but you don't really lose the state. If you touch the ladder again or stairs, then you'll get the speed back, but it would be pretty annoying having to go all the way back to a ladder and then try to dodge everything again, so It's good that he didn't get hit. Aweglib's got this bird coming after him. Not really fun to be taking damage right before getting on Death Mountain. tbham and Trogdor are actually pretty close right now. So that should be an interesting cross race between the two of them there.
Looks like runnerwatcher opted not to go for the boomerang dash in this tile room. It's a little trick that can save a little bit of time.
Aweglib is going in to heal up from the old man after taking all that damage before Death Mountain and also on Death Mountain after saving the old man, so good strategy for sure. That's definitely going to help him on the rest of his trip up and then also in the dungeon. So runnerwatcher's got his big keys coming up to do the beetle room. He does the optimal strat. Looks pretty good. It's trickier than it looks actually. But
yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
He also, it was a heads-up play to get those arrows. That's definitely good if that beetle drops arrows near the door to grab them. And it can be kind of tough to react to. Doing the bomb jump to get to the moon pearl saves a little bit of time. Game intends you to go upstairs first and like fall down onto that section where the big chest is. But with that bomb jump, which is pretty easy to do, if you have any interest in learning tricks for this game, you can learn that one in 5 minutes, even if you don't speedrun it.
Yeah, Trogdor is doing, I guess, ACM beetles, which is slightly slower but more consistent strategy, where you go up and you kill the top right beetle first, knock him into the hole, and then knock the bottom one into the hole, and then throw a pot at the last one. Runnerwatcher having a good Moldorm. Gets through it a-okay.
Oh, Trogdor falling.
Ooh, it's such a rough one, too.
This actually evens up. Well, I guess makes the race between him and Aweglib close.
Yeah. Thankfully, though, he had hit the switch, the safety switch upstairs, so when he fell down, he could just walk back up. It doesn't have to fight any of the enemies anymore, or, like, do the beetle room over again. If you fall there without hitting that switch, then you have to mirror out, which resets the dungeon. I guess the positives about that is you get, you know, another bomb or more chance for drops. But the unfortunate thing is that you have to redo the beetle room with all the beetles still in there. Oh, and we're doing old school. Well, old school, more like casual, I guess. For Trogdor here. That's spoilers, if you've never played this game, that's how you get the moon pearl.
Yeah.
Got a bomb jump.
Trogdor and Aweglib are gonna both be heading up to the Moldorm fight. Hopefully they have good ones. Really sucks to follow this fight because he completely regenerates his health when you get back to him. Meanwhile, on tbham's screen, he's going to be setting up tree rupees. You're going to pull this first tree, and it's going to shoot out 4 blue rupees every single time. And then from here, he wants to kill 4 enemies, or more, but we usually just do 4, because why do more? But he wants to do 4 enemies without taking any damage whatsoever through this Lost Wood section. And then he'll be able to pull another tree that will give him 4 red rupees. See him being a little careful with that bird. He really doesn't want to take damage there. And you see runnerwatcher getting his red rupees.
tbham's got his master sword now. Both Aweglib and Trogdor making their way there now.
And they'll be...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they'll be able to skip tree rupees since they got the Sahasrara rupees.
Yeah, so for them getting hit is not the biggest deal. I guess the biggest way it would affect them here is if they wanted beams for Aghanim's tower. There's a strategy in one of the earlier rooms that uses beams. But if they're not utilizing that strategy, then getting hit here is not the biggest deal. They don't lose out on any rupee drops or anything because they're not going for any, so no big deal.
I will note that Aweglib is in an interesting rupee situation. He actually has 102, which is not enough. So hopefully he's paying attention to that. Knows that he needs to get a couple extra rupees somewhere.
Yeah, and he may be hoping for a drop in the first Gold Knight's room. They usually drop rupees.
Looks like runnerwatcher had a rough Gold Knight's room. Aghanim's tower is a really tough dungeon. Just a lot of the like combat enemy rooms are really actually quite hard to do. Especially these set of rooms coming up for runnerwatcher, which is almost like a mini gauntlet. With the red spears room, and then the room right after, and circle of pots.
Yeah, these rooms definitely can be difficult. Circle of Pots especially because depending on the RNG, it kind of depends how quickly this room goes. As you can see, him getting less than ideal RNG there means that he took, or he had to kind of slash that red guard out of the way before he could kill the one in the middle who has the key. So that's just like one way I guess that room can go poorly. And if you get the good RNG, the room's over much quicker. So just another one of those things in this game.
Yeah. runnerwatcher coming up on everyone's favorite boss, Aghanim 1. You probably already know how his cycles work. Anyone want to guess the blue balls in the chat?
I'm gonna guess 3 for everybody.
Wow.
If that actually happened, that would be pretty amazing. But tbham right now is out of arrows, so that might be bad for him. Well, I guess he's okay. He's actually 1 short, but I guess it won't be the biggest deal in the world.
Wow, 3 for 3 on the first cycle with blue balls.
Maybe he'll get 15.
Maybe. Aweglib getting the suicide pot, and this is why it's called the suicide pot. That's because these guards will converge on you while you're trying to get it. But that does give him enough rupees.
runnerwatcher getting more blue balls here. So I guess the guess that I had this wrong. I'm already losing. I think he had 4.
It's not too bad given the all 3 were blue on the first cycle. Like, when that happens, you're usually expecting it to go really, really poorly.
Yeah, I think TB so far is 0 blue balls. Oh, there's tbham's first blue ball. And a second. I think he might get jebaited here and get a 3rd.
Yeah, this is always a rough feeling.
Yeah, because you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna get 0, and then yeah, it gives them all to you at that last cycle. But he's got 3. Trogdor, I don't think has had one yet.
Aweglib starting the fight. That's Trogdor's first, I believe.
Aweglib doesn't have one yet, as far as I can tell. Never mind, there's one. I think that was 2 for Trogdor.
Yeah. The 3rd.
Yeah. So far, just 1 for Aweglib.
And a 4th for Trogdor.
There's Aweglib's 2nd. And his 3rd. And 4th. Oh man.
Trogdor got 5. Not very friendly blue balls today for anyone.
No, definitely not. tbham is the only one that got the average amount of blue balls.
Yeah, everyone else is above average. Oh, runnerwatcher getting wrecked on that screen.
Yeah, that's not good. The end of this dungeon, it's nice to have beams. Makes many of the rooms faster, and also having full hearts going into Helmasaur is much better than having less than that, since he does 2 hearts of damage per hit, and is, you know, completely an RNG boss, so you never know what you're going to get with him. And he also has to take damage at the hammer jump. Thankfully, there's 3 hearts under pots after the hammer jump, so he will be able to heal up, but taking another heart of damage here means that he likely will not have enough hearts to have beams, which would be tragic.
Yeah, definitely. Really gonna want to nail the hammer jump here. And for those who don't know, this trick is pretty precise. He's gonna need to plant a bomb on a specific vertical coordinate, and he's going to need to place Link on a specific vertical coordinate before that bomb goes off, so he's boosted across the pit.
Very nice.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Aweglib is paying the monkey. Trogdor is getting his first key. tbham's got the big key.
Yeah, and here's where runnerwatcher can get back up to full hearts for this last section of the dungeon.
Now, I think Aweglib tried to learn hammer jump recently, so I wonder if he's gonna go for it in this race or not.
Yeah, it'd be tough to break out the new strats in a tourney race, but
You might also YOLO it just because, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
You probably noticed Trogdor doing a bit of a different route here in the first part of the dungeon. He's actually doing the old Palace of Darkness key route. The newer one all the other players did is about the same speed, but you end up with one more bomb overall. So that's why the new one is better, why most players these days do it now.
Trogdor with a nice hammer jump. Aweglib coming up on it, so we'll see. Moment of truth. Is he gonna do it? Is he not gonna do it? Oh, he is going for it.
Looks like he's a tile low.
I think so.
That's one of the tricky things about this trick at first.
Oh, he was a pixel low on... I think it was on his bomb placement. He may have been a pixel low. Oh. Looks like he might just abandon it altogether.
It's a pretty tough trick.
Oh, nope, he's going for it.
Oh, wow.
The persistence. See, when I was at, like, about his level, I hadn't learned hammer jump either, and I would just, come up here, like, and do the sword lineup, which is really tricky. You probably only get it, like, 25% of the time, if that. But yeah, I definitely gave up after, like, one time of failing it, so good job to Aweglib for sticking it out and continuing to try it. It's definitely a hard trick, especially when you're just learning.
Runnerwatcher. Oh no.
Aweglib taking a death there. He did only have one heart, so the dungeon was a little bit dangerous for him to navigate through.
He will get another shot at hammer jump if he wishes.
That's true.
We'll see how he chooses to play it.
Yep, he's gonna try again. Meanwhile, Trogdor fighting Helmasaur. Looks like he was going for the hammer strats, but ended up bailing out. Just doing the slashes. Has a nice fight. Doesn't take any damage. So that's great. tbham making his way out of the pod overworld. Gonna be getting his flute that runnerwatcher is picking up right now.
Yeah, this overworld between Palace of Darkness and Thieves Town is one of the hardest overworlds in the game to do really well.
Yeah, it looks like Aweglib got a hammer jump.
Yeah, you
so, did. GG. That's what happens when you keep trying.
It's Zosty in the chat. What's going on, Zos?
Those lovely audio warps. Classic runnerwatcher.
That screen runner watcher just it's actually pretty tough to do well. You have to manipulate the camera just right to keep that top card off camera and despawned. You want to spawn him in as late as possible, or else he will poke you in the face while you're trying to charge that last dash.
So I think we'll be seeing tbham going for powder. Not sure about Trogdor. He's getting hit here by these enemies on the overworld. It's never fun.
Yeah, powder is a very strong safety. Only costs between sorry, only costs between 35 and 40 seconds to go get it. So
tbham trying for the witch's hut spin speed, but doesn't get it. It's mostly for slag. And Aweglib defeating Helmasaur, getting him down. Claiming in chat that he just wanted more bombs. That's why he went through the dungeon so many times.
Alright, I'm back after a drink of water.
Welcome back.
You might have noticed tbham doing something a little weird there, where he went around to the left side of that warp tile, and that's because of a thing called quick warps, or if you warp between the light and dark worlds on certain horizontal pixel coordinates, your warp animation is sped up by 34 frames. So that particular warp, you want to step on the left side of it to get that to happen, even though it seems like odd movement to do so.
It's an easy way to save about half a second. And there's a few of them on the overworld that are fairly easy to get, just like that one, where you just kind of have to step into the warp on in a certain way, like either from the left or from the right. I guess one of the most... Ooh, Aweglib almost getting hit by these enemies here. That was a good dodge, though. He almost got sat on by that ropa and hit by the bird. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the quick warps. One of the ones that comes to mind is on Death Mountain at the very top when you're going to Hera. That's another one where you just enter from the right. And yeah, free half second.
Yeah, definitely. Also, the ones outside of a lot of the dungeons, if you just stand still and mirror, you get them for free.
Yeah, those are probably the easiest ones.
Yeah.
Ooh, tbham taking some damage here. Making it through.
Runnerwatcher coming up on blind. One of the easiest fights for higher level runners. Just because they've done it a lot, and it should go the same way every time. It is hashtag scripted.
Hashtag?
Yeah.
Okay. Get it trending on Twitter. Ooh, Aweglib got the spin speed here to make it through the screen. You mainly want to make it past that red guard because he is very fast for some reason.
Yeah.
We've, lovingly nicknamed him Usain Bolt because he's the fastest guard in Hyrule. Probably has won all of the awards and medals for running so fast. But yeah, one of the easiest ways to get by him is to do that spin speed there. But unfortunately, he got bopped by him.
Yeah, if you're just walking normally, that guard moves way faster than Link diagonally. So if you try to like escape him with like trying to move upright or something on that screen, he's just gonna repeatedly poke you in the butt. and it's not a good time.
Yeah, tbham is really close to death there. Thankfully, he's got the powder and knows where the bunny beams are, so he made good use of it. Runnerwatcher now has his first of 2 300 rupees. And he's about to get his tempered sword. We got Trogdor opening up the, bombing the hole, I guess, for blind. And Aweglib getting his powder.
Runnerwatcher starting this little sequence to trade 10 rupees for the tempered sword.
The blind fight going pretty well for tbham there. Took a little bit of damage but didn't die, so that's successful. IMO.
Yeah. Aweglib getting powder, Trogdor going to get the Titan Smiths over here. Runnerwatcher coming up on the all-important fence dash. I don't think he goes for it, though.
No, so. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Boo.
He'll be coming in here for the second 300 rupees. You want to get both of these chests on the server world so you can afford the flippers later. He'll be making his way to Skull Woods, which is, I believe, the shortest dungeon in the Dark World, at least. It's meant to be quite confusing and labyrinthine, casually, because it has all these entrances and exits. But obviously in a speedrun we know exactly where to go.
Yeah. This room that Runnerwatcher is in is probably one of the harder rooms in this dungeon. He makes it look super easy though. But the RNG of the mummies can, I guess, kind of depend how you react in that room, obviously. And for some weird reason you can slash through the mummies, and they can come hit you like through the statue. Like there's a lot of weird things with that room, so people just kind of hate it all around.
Yeah, definitely. Runnerwatcher doing another bomb jump there to get to the fire rod. That one works the exact same way as the one to get to Moon Pearl. It's basically the exact same trick. Does tbham go for a fence dash? I think he does.
Maybe. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no. That's better than not going for it at all, though.
That's true. It's better to have gone for it and failed than to have never gone for it at all.
Yeah, that's important. A link to the past philosophy there.
It's good life philosophy, really.
Yeah.
Oh
no!
It's not really that bad, I guess. I mean, dying sucks, but he's already bombed the hole. So really, he just has to go back and hit the switch.
That is pretty unfortunate, though. It's completely luck to get hit in that situation he was in. It's just sometimes you get what we call a frame rule, where the game only checks collision between hitboxes once every 4 frames. And a lot of the times, if one of those green grasshopper, lizard, whatever enemies, I don't know, there's a big debate over what exactly they are.
They're grasshoppers.
But if one of them is blocking the door, usually it's fine. But sometimes if you get unlucky with that frame rule stuff, you may get hit. And that's what happened there. This is really unfortunate.
Yeah, and he's also now down to 2 hearts. Thankfully, his powder, and thankfully, no, it's just an anti-fairy that comes right at him. So, ooh, he got lucky there. He like walked through that horse head when the horse head was taking damage, so he didn't actually take damage. Aweglib catching a fairy here. Yeah, when there's bunny beams, it's the yellow things that can turn you into a bunny if they move and hit you. When they're under pots and things, you actually don't have to lift up the pot in order to use the powder on them. You can just use the powder while like on the pot, and it'll turn into a fairy. So, little known fact. There's also one in the very beginning, like when you enter Thieves for the first time, in the very top left corner. There's a bunny beam there as well, which is usually good if like you have powder and you need to refight blind. It's a good spot to go.
Yeah, definitely. tbham having a bit of trouble there.
Yeah, very careful though not to take any damage, which was good.
Runnerwatcher's going to be collecting the Quake Medallion, which we need to access Trogdor, who's going to mirror and go get flippers, which we need just to do Swamp Palace. That's the only reason we need them.
What a great game.
Yep.
It's funny because there's another item that you only need for one purpose, the Ice Rod, that you have to go all the way out of your way to get.
Yeah, it's funny. I think there are actually a lot of items like that where you only need them for, like, you only absolutely need them for 1 or 2 things. One example is the Fire Rod. I think you only need it to access the second part of Skull Woods.
Yeah.
Or wait, I guess you need it for Trinix as well. I lied.
Oh, yeah. Wow, how could you lie to them like that?
I don't know. I'm sorry, chat.
I don't know if they're gonna forgive you. Trogdor getting a little bit beat up here by the spikes, but has a pretty nice fight, actually.
Runnerwatcher entering Ice Palace is the most nerve-wracking dungeon up until you hit the late game, which has more nerve-wracking dungeons. It's just really easy for something to go seriously wrong. So even though Trogdor is a good bit behind, like Runnerwatcher definitely wants to keep his foot on the accelerator here, because if anything goes wrong in this dungeon, Trogdor could get back in it pretty quickly.
Yeah, this dungeon has a lot of rooms where I guess it's a little bit difficult to execute really well, and just little things can go wrong depending on, I guess, RNG, especially the room that he's in right now. If any of those jellies electrify in your way, that can really mess up the room. And there he didn't, you know, throw the bomb in the right spot, so it didn't, like usually if you throw the bomb in the right spot, it'll blow up the hole and also hit the crystal switch, so that when you're in this room here where he's at now, this conveyor room, you don't have to hit the switch in here and you can just go straight into the bomb jump. So it's just a little time save. And I think this is the hardest bomb jump in the game. I may be alone in that, but I hate it, and yeah, he makes it look easy. And before Josh says, "'Cause it is easy."
I mean, yeah.
No.
I can do that bomb jump while reading the morning newspaper.
I want to see you do that then. Please. Alright, tbham's got his slippers. Trogdor's about to get Quake. And Aweglib coming up here to get his big key in Skullwoods.
Runnerwatcher spanking his way to Cold Stare, probably the deadliest boss in the game until Ganon. Hopefully it goes well for him.
Aweglib got grabbed in the mummy room.
I'll be going for this. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna point out his fight where he tried to trap them in the corner. One of them got away, but it wasn't a huge still. He still survived the fight, so it's good. Good job by him. And yeah, Aweglib got grabbed in the mummy room. That's one of the annoying things about Skullwoods, or the wall masters.
It's kind of weird that they're still called wall masters in this game since they come from, like, the heavens.
Yeah, shouldn't they be called, like, ceiling masters or something?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Something like that. Roof masters.
Roof masters.
Hire them to reshingle your roof. Alright, tbham coming up on the Ice Palace bomb jump shortly here. Oh. Meanwhile, Aweglib is making his way to the second half of Skullwoods. Oh, tbham falling at the bomb jump there. Ooh, getting it at the last second though. That was pretty good. Oh, I think Aweglib's about to get bopped by that. Oh, yep. Oh, wow, he still got the fairy, though.
Wow.
He got bopped by that mini Moldorm, and yeah. Was still able to get the fairy. Yeah, the fairy from the bunny beam, but man, getting beat up.
tbham coming up on Gold Stair. This is always a tough decision for me as a powder player. If you're missing a few hearts, do you go refill or no? It's like he's not going to.
No. Yeah, I agree with that though. It's always like, do I need it or do I not? Now without powder, you don't have that choice. You just have to go, oh well, I'm down to 2 hearts. I guess I'll go in and see what happens. Oh, tbham getting hit.
He should be fine.
Yeah, he's fine. He's good. Nice. Good cleanup. Trogdor will be the next one coming up to fight Cold Stare. And looks like he is going to go and refill with this anti-fairy here.
Yeah, that anti-fairy is really not far out of the way at all. Being full hearts is pretty nice.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone open up the door to Link's house like that, like Aweglib did. That was pretty cool. Oh, Trogdor, was going for the poke dashes, I mean. Poke slash.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Poke dashes. But looks like he dropped it after the first one. It's a pretty difficult strat to do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we saw the lonely fire bar in ice, which is a room with just a single fire bar over an ice floor. And now runnerwatcher's entering the sociable fire bar room. He has so many friends in there with him.
It's a whole party in there.
It's really nice. Yeah.
I like to think it's a story, like, you know, he was lonely and then he came here and he found friends. Same fire bar.
runnerwatcher doing a very specific movement here to set up this hook shot to the pot with the key in it right there. That hook shot's actually very precise for, like, strange reasons. You'd think it wouldn't be, but it is.
Yeah, the setup is basically to line up with one of the statues at the bottom of, like, where the big chest sits, and open the big chest from that side, and then hold down right out of, I guess, the text box after getting the hook shot until you hit the side of the platform, and then switch to the hook shot and hook shot over. So not the most difficult setup, but yeah, like Josh said, it is very precise.
Yeah, if you were to not do the setup, you'd be surprised, like, how hard it is to hook shot to that pot. If you've never tried it before, at least.
Alright, Aweglib is entering Ice Palace, Trogdor entering Swamp Palace, runnerwatcher fighting Argus, tbham just going to get his small key here. You'd think after runnerwatcher died to Argus last tournament, you wouldn't stand above him like that, or walk above him.
Yeah. You'd think, but...
You'd think. Oh no, Aweglib threw his bomb. Didn't hit the switch, but he actually was able to get it the second time there. That's pretty good.
It's nice that he had more bombs. Recently I did a run where I made that mistake and had 0 bombs, and the only solution there is to mirror out.
Yeah. Although, didn't Scrivo have an interesting strategy in that room?
In all dungeons, yes, he did.
Yeah, that was a run.
And by interesting strategy, he basically had no strategy, and it really, really showed in how the room went.
Yeah.
Ooh, Aweglib getting hit in the penguin lineup room.
Oh, here, I have the clip. Alright, Runner Watcher getting his Ether and Ice Rod. Choosing to do it the optimal way, which is getting it in the Mire segment. Saves roughly a second over getting those items during the Swamp segment, or, well, I guess that's probably where you would want to get them, as a Swamp segment. Not a huge time difference, but sometimes that time difference is huge to other people. Aweglib's got to be careful here, but he's got him. Oh!
Oh! Shouts to iframes.
No kidding. And Sankheart. Wow. That was really close. Dang. I think he has a fairy, though, in a bottle, so you would have been okay.
Yeah.
But still, that was really, really clutch. tbham fighting Argus. Just gotta get his 2 spins in here. Easy peasy. And he's dead. Runner Watcher coming up here on Mire too. Very nice. It was quick. Very fast. Now Aweglib's gonna be making his way, I believe. Oh, he's gonna do Ether and Ice Rod now. So as I was saying before, there's only a slight difference between getting Ether and Ice Rod during this segment versus doing it during the Mire segment. Doing it during the Swamp segment is a bit safer because then you have full hearts for Mire. Or I guess you're more guaranteed full hearts for Mire, and the cons to that, though, is that you don't get to do the sword climb, which is when you use the hook shot with your sword out to hook dash up the ladder very quickly. That saves about a second. Usually a good indication of the amount of time or the pace that somebody is on is what they get at Mire torches. For somebody like Runner Watcher, he could probably make it to the end game in about 20 to 21 minutes after lighting those torches. So he may be on like 127 to 128 pace at this point, which is a very good run. Very close, I guess, to his PB even, which is great for a marathon run. And by marathon, I mean tournament. Alright, tbham's got Ether, he's going to get Ice Rod. Trogdor is making the same trip, doing Ether and Ice Rod here. Oh, I guess Aweglib's actually going to be doing Gold Sword and Silver Arrows, judging by his route. If you're going to be doing Gold Sword and Silver Arrows, it's better to do Mire first and then Swamp, because the big bomb shop, where you have to buy the big bomb to open up the area to get Gold Sword and Silver Arrows, is just right up north after Swamp. So all you have to do is just kind of dash up, grab the bomb, go get your Gold Sword and Silver Arrows. And you're golden. So this is the route for that. It's just a slight change. So it's gonna look like they're all kind of in the same area. It actually looks like Aweglib is ahead right now. But yeah, just keep in mind that he hasn't done Swamp Palace yet. And we'll also be making that detour later for Gold Sword and Silver Arrows. Runner watchers on the Biddy fight here. WQ, one of our top runners, has a very good setup for this fight. Ooh, runner watcher getting hit by the lightning there. I guess not a huge deal since he has enough hearts, but yeah, runner watcher had a really good setup. Or sorry, WQ has a really good setup for this fight, where you only take, optimally, you will only take 4 hearts of damage. And be able to get a 0 cycle. So it ends up being a very quick fight. It's pretty easy to do if you just follow along. Joe D'Amelio, another one of our top runners, made a tutorial using WQ's strategy, which is really good. Alright, tbham. Oh, tbham's gotta be careful here. Yep, he just got hit by the whiz robes, unfortunately, after missing the torch light there. But happens to get them lighting in torches at about a 111.30-ish, 30 to 35-ish. So he is on pretty decent pace right now, by the looks of things. Aweglib making his way down to the basement of Meyer. Gonna fight Vitreous real soon. The fight's a lot less stressful, I guess, when you have powder, since there's an anti-fairy right before Vitreous. So you can fill up your hearts right before you enter the fight, so taking damage isn't as daunting as, you know, if you took damage during the dungeon and then you don't have powder at the end there to fill up.
Wow.
Wow. And Trogdor hitting the torches at about a 112.20-ish.
Runner watcher going to be heading into Turtle Rock, which is, as Louis called it recently, the heart attack segment.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Everything does so much damage and can kill you so easily.
Yeah, there's lots of things in Turtle Rock that do 4 hearts of damage. The lasers, the pokies, the spikes. So it's definitely a place you gotta be. Oh, the chomps, yeah. That's a place you have to be careful. Alright, so Aweglib finishing up Vitreous. He will now be making his way over to Swamp Palace. Meanwhile, tbham and Trogdor just making their way down to the basement, getting a little bit closer to Vitreous. I think both of them have powder though, so they should be able to fill up right before the fight.
Screeva wants to know about the chomps.
Chain chomps are quite the chomps.
Don't you want to get it?
Yes. I guess I should find that for context. Found it.
That was quick.
Yeah, it's one of my top clips. Oh.
It's one of the best clips on Twitch. Hands down.
One of the best parts about that clip is that nobody said anything about it. Like, nobody noticed that he messed up his words.
Yeah, he definitely deviated from English a bit there.
Yeah. Alright.
I must say.
Getting... Yeah. Runnerwatcher getting his fairy drop. He has no magic, so hopefully he gets it from the Poke Room, because he's going to need it. And tbham finished up Vitreous. Trogdor currently fighting Vitreous. Pulling out the arrows to finish off the fight. Good call. Yeah, there's his full magic drop.
Yeah,
W.
This is very nice. He would have had a tough time proceeding through the dungeon without getting that.
Yes, he would.
tbham coming to Turtle Rock.
Indeed he is. Only down 1 heart, so that tells me he had a pretty decent overworld, I say, as he gets hit by a squirrel.
Nice Jinx.
Thank you. It does get the spin speed off the ladder there, though. It just speeds up those hammer pegs a little bit, as long as you don't, you know, A, jump off, or B, run around them like crazy, trying to line up and hit them.
Who would ever do that? Scrivo. Oh my gosh.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, sorry. I just had a momentary sneeze there.
A bit of an allergy?
Yeah.
Runnerwatcher having a pretty nice Trinex fight here. I mean, it was okay. I don't think Scrivo's listening to us. I think he just listens to us when he hears his name and then is like, wait, what'd you say? So we can make fun of him just as long as you say his name at the end of your burn. And he'll never know.
Yeah.
Okay, there he admits that he's not even listening. Wow. That's what you get.
Fortunately for every other player in the race besides Runnerwatcher, they have powder, which makes Turtle Rock quite a bit less stressful.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of places in this dungeon to get fairies. There's a lot of anti-fairies all over the place. You have a room that has 4 of them even, so shouldn't have any trouble healing up here. Runnerwatcher making his way to the best dungeon in the game, Ganon's Tower. Definitely one of the more fun dungeons. It's one of those ones, I guess it's like Ice Palace, where like every room has some pretty, like, you know, I don't want to really say like, you know, tight strategies, but, you know, you have to do them well in order to save time or to get a good time in this dungeon. But for some reason it's not as stressful.
Yeah.
As Ice Palace.
I saw Pinkus today call Ganon's Tower's like swamp on steroids, where you just lose a second here, lose 2 seconds there, but by the end of the dungeon you've lost 30 seconds. You know, it's just sloppy movement or strat execution accumulates so quickly because every room has something going on.
Yeah, nice pokey too there from tbham. He still has full hearts as well, which is always nice coming out of that room. Then he can do the quicker strat here. Aweglib only has 2.5 hearts on Argus. Usually dying to Argus is not really a risk for anybody, but he does do 2 hearts of damage, so he'd have to be extra careful there, I guess, if he took any damage from Argus. But he makes it through. Easy peasy. I think runnerwatcher just accidentally reset his timer at some point.
Yeah.
Ooh, tbham getting hit by the laser skip. I think he stopped his dash just a little bit too early. He got hit in the face with the laser. Thankfully, he's got lots of hearts and he has powder, so if he wants to stock up, he can do that in this room here. But looks like he is not going to. He's just gonna head on in. He does have quite a few hearts. I mean, he's got 7. That's more than enough for Trinex, especially since there's that one in the pot there, giving him 8. Aweglib's making his way to the big bomb to grab gold sword and silver arrows. This is, I wonder what strategy he's going to do here though to get the bomb to the wall to bomb it open.
Yeah, and that whole sequence is exactly why. Yeah, I mean, you get to see why he did Swamp last. He just gets to go up right out of Swamp Palace. Whereas if you do any other dungeon last, you're gonna have to, you know, flute to 4, find a way to the Dark World. You know, it's a big ordeal to get here.
Yeah. And I guess he opted just to walk. There's a few different strategies for getting the bomb. One of them is to pull out the hook shot and hook to the bushes out like near Link's house, not the ones right up, or the bomb shop. Sorry, outside, but off the ledge, and then you can dash. And then if you hook to the fence of the tree or something, you can dash on this next screen as well. The other strategy is to jump off the ledge with the bomb, so that you, I guess, like lose the bomb and it starts the countdown. And then you want to transition the screen, I think, when the timer gets to 0. And then it'll warp to you in the transition.
Runnerwatcher was actually in really big trouble in that Gauntlet 5. And still really is kind of in pretty big trouble.
Yeah. There is a heart in this next room. Won't really do him much good though. Gonna grab it to stop the beeping. I think tbham could potentially PB here.
What's his PB?
134.48. Or at least be very close. Oh, he is currently 5 seconds ahead of his PB.
Yeah,
He's a gold turtle rockworm.
Yeah, I just opened his stream as well and saw that. Hopefully he can get a PB.
So you'll see a bunch of different strategies, I guess, from Aweglib now that he has Gold Sword and Silver Arrows. It makes some enemies well, makes all the enemies really in the next couple of dungeons much easier to kill. So it just kind of, I guess, lets a smoother transition through these dungeons.
Runnerwatcher coming up on Aweglib 2, which is a pretty hard boss fight actually to do well consistently. The best it can go is if you get a 2-cycle, where you hit the 3 shots back at him in the first round, and then hit the 3 shots back at him again in the second. Sometimes the main one will give you a blue ball though, and that can make 2-cycle impossible to do even.
Yeah. And probably some of the best advice I had ever heard, and that was a nice 3-cycle by the way, and some of the best advice I'd ever heard for Aweglib 2 is don't go for a 3-cycle, go for a 2-cycle. Or sorry, don't go for a 3-cycle, that's not what I meant. Don't go for 3 hits on a cycle, go for 2 hits on a cycle. Because if you try to go for 3 hits, you usually will end up doing 1 or 0.
Yeah, you should definitely take what the fight gives you, really. If 3 happens, then if it just falls in your lap, then that's great, but you really don't want to be forcing it. Oh, Runnerwatcher in trouble here.
Don't get hit, don't get hit. Alright, he's fine.
tbham having some trouble in Mimics too. He gets through it. Looks like Aweglib got wrecked a bit in the roller room.
Yeah, he's down quite a few hearts, but thankfully he also has powder and bottle and net, which I think he has a fairy in a bottle actually.
Runnerwatcher just getting the torch glitch there. Or if you light that left torch before the right one goes out, the right one will never go out. It's very important for optimizing this fight with the Tempered Sword.
Yeah, it allows you to get 3 spins per cycle, and also lets you use the Fire Rod to help you get those 3 spins per cycle. Alright, GG to Runnerwatcher. Looks like he's gonna finish up with a 128. I'm going by everybody else's timer. It's like a 128.42 roughly. So GG to Runnerwatcher. That was a nice run.
We'll see if we can get him in for an interview, maybe. He might need an invite to this Discord.
Quite possibly. Right, tbham getting his 4 torches lit. Trogdor coming into Gauntlet. He's got the red mail. Definitely a good call. Makes the Ganon fight a lot less scary. Aweglib is coming up on laser skip. So let's see here. Oh, just a little bit too high there. Oh, tbham taking a fall to Moldorm. And unfortunately landing on the spikes.
Looks like runnerwatcher will be joining us momentarily. Oh, tbham having a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, taking another fall. Oh my goodness, third fall.
He gets it down this time though.
That's how you doing?
Hey, runnerwatcher, GG. Nice race.
Thank you. I'm just happy to improve my seating with this race from last time.
This is your best race time so far?
Yeah, it's about a minute better. I think against Ivan I got a 129.45, and I think this was a 128.44 or something, so... Just moving on up there.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. So how'd you feel about your run?
It was funny. It was one of those runs where it was kind of a more standard RW run than my last race, I think, because I managed to survive everywhere, but I was never quite sure how. And so it was like I was losing little pieces of time everywhere, but I always felt like I had extricated myself from a really bad. And of course, there were like I was bonking everywhere, and like I don't know, I did a lot of stupid stuff, and like Aga Tower was really bad, and like a few things around there. Oh yeah, Lanmo was really bad. Light World in general, I just felt was horrible, and of course, a lot of blue balls again. 30 warp, and then yeah, almost died on Helma, almost died in Gauntlet, almost died on Ganon. Else that I almost died, but it was a lot of trouble.
Yeah, those are definitely the most notable close calls, I think. We definitely saw all of those ones. But yeah, I think... How many blue balls did this run have? Was it 4?
Yeah, it was 4, and my last one had 7, so I haven't been...
Wow.
Maybe my last race is on Thursday, so maybe I'll get a, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Have a little good luck.
Hopefully.
Obviously, I can still improve.
Who was your last race against?
Actually, on Thursday, same time, 8 p.m. on Thursday.
His last race was against Ivan, right?
I meant his next race, like his last race.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, I'm intelligent.
Yes. tbham is currently down to 1 heart on Ganon. So he's gotta play a little safe here, but thankfully he's on the last phase. Well, almost on the last phase. So it shouldn't be too much trouble for him. Trogdor just...
It looked like... But maybe something happened, I don't know.
Sorry, what would you say?
I was just saying it looked like tbham and I were pretty... I was watching, like, a little bit into Dark World, but then I stopped watching. I don't know if something happened to him or if I just kind of separated myself.
His I guess, back half of G Tower was a little bit rough. He had quite a few falls to Moldorm, and yeah, that's it really, I guess. Nothing too drastic. He's playing Ganon really safe right now, which is understandable, given that he has 1 heart. Trogdor is also making his way through the Ganon fight, and Aweglib is just finished up Gauntlet. Oh no, sorry, that was Ice Armos. My bad. Wrong ice room.
Yeah.
I just saw ice and I was like, oh, that's Gauntlet.
Like Trogdor, he'll be going up to get the red mail, which only costs about 20 seconds or so. So it's,
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice safety.
Yeah, for sure. And GG to tbham for finishing out that Ganon fight with 1 heart pretty much the whole time. So GG. And 136.04 is what he finishes with. Not too far off his PB, only about like a minute and I think 20 seconds maybe, not even. So GG.
That was definitely scary the way he was playing that. At the end I thought he was going to run out of magic because he was staying so far away from Ganon, which was safe for hearts, but you have to get the hits in before you run out of magic.
Yeah, thankfully I think he recognized that and switched over to the lantern. And Trogdor finishing up Ganon as well. So he's gonna finish the 137 something. 137.13. So
Happy
GG
to
to Trogdor.
Looks like I just applied for the brackets, so that's cool.
Nice, GG. I guess we're joined by tbham. Welcome, tbham.
Hello.
Nice run.
It was, yeah. It was weird. It was a weird run. It was some good and some really, really bad.
What were your good and bad points?
I mean, T-Rock was pretty good, so that was nice.
Yeah, it was a nice gold split there.
I got bodied all through Agate Tower, so it's weird. Ice went
Yeah.
okay, just despite some things, and I was super excited to find, like, I actually practiced Meyer 2, doing it correctly, and then promptly messed it up, but I did get the 0 cycle Vidi, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's really good.
What happened with your Moldorm 2 there?
Yeah. Oh, that was. It happened the first time. Like, god damn it. Sorry. It happened the second time, and it happened the third time. I think, did it happen 4 times? I can't remember if it did or not.
I can't remember either.
Just screaming expletives essentially for a while.
But you did go for Fence Dash, so that makes up for everything.
Fence dash and the second try bird toss.
Yeah.
Mutsuki is saying that's what you get for fighting Moldorm 2 in the first place.
Right.
Rough.
I don't think I've ever attempted to hover. Well, I think I've attempted to hover for about 2 seconds and realized I can't do it, so. Where's Aweglib? Aweglib's with G Tower. How about that? Cool.
Yeah, he'll be finishing up here shortly, hopefully. Cold Sword and Silver Arrows definitely provide the potential to make really quick work of Ganon.
All I know is I'm so hungry, and I've been so hungry for the past hour.
Is that why you asked Scrivo to make you a sandwich?
I asked for burritos, what I asked for. But now all the good burrito places are closed. I can't even like get a burrito. I thought I'd go to Taco Bell, and that's terrible.
No, please don't.
Yeah, no.
Aweglib gets to Moldorm 2 a little differently than the other runners. Just has to use 2 slashes with the gold sword, rather than having to do a slash and a spin attack.
Nice recovery in that mini Helma room. See if he's done his geometry homework.
Oh, that was the other thing that was really bad for me, was Aga.
Aga's usually bad for everybody. Aga too.
Not even,
Most
like,
people.
I thought I had more hits than I did, so I was just going for one hit on some phase that I had a decent lineup for. And it turns out I needed 2 still.
Your last hit was pretty insane though. It's kind of like they hit you, but you hit back at them, and it all just kind of like exploded at once.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
pretty
know.
nuts.
I hate Aga too. I need to actually practice it and understand what's going on in it, I guess.
Right, Aweglib making his way to Ganon.
Yeah, we'll see the Ganon's really quite a pushover with Gold Sword and Silver Arrows. The first 2 phases can be one-cycled with just 6 hits, so you should get it pretty easily. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. When I hope, things always turn out well.
Yeah.
Are his splits up to date, or is his PB on the site up to date? Or no, it's not. Okay, never mind.
No,
Okay.
yeah, he's got a 141. Yeah, unfortunately had a couple of deaths early on. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I looked over at one point and saw him doing basement and pod, and then I saw a red screen shortly after. And if he's this close to
Yeah.
his PB still, that's pretty good.
yeah, for sure. I mean, he's definitely due for a PB. Man, I miss Gold Sword Ganon.
Do you miss accidentally running out of arrows, or...?
That never happened, okay?
Standing still for 5 minutes.
It only takes 4 silver arrows. Sometimes you can double hit him. Aweglib demonstrating it pretty well there.
Yeah.
Fight him with the silver arrows. It's going to be finishing up. Looks like a 143.22. See if we can get him in here as well.
Alright, looks like we're joined by Aweglib now.
Hello.
Hello. Nice run.
That was a run. Yeah, I played the video game to completion there.
I couldn't help but notice that you've had a fairy in your bottle the entire time and you didn't use it.
Yeah, I did the really smart idea of dying before I got the bottle in the net, so that was really good.
Yeah. My question though is when are you dropping bottle and net then?
Right now. This was my last run with it. I just wanted to do it
Perfect.
for races, just as a last safety. But yeah, that was the plan, was to drop it now.
Alright, that's good. I'm glad to hear that, because you clearly don't need it. You almost PB'd actually, which was pretty nice. Maybe
Yeah,
minus
I
the-
played well
pod.
for Ice Palace on. It was just complete garbage up until that point, unfortunately.
So anything for you that stands out about your run that you want to talk about?
The bomb jump is impossible. I just want to point that one out real quick. Bomb jump can't be done. Except
Didn't you
when you've
just-
already died and then you get it first try, easy peasy.
Yeah. Didn't you just learn that recently?
Yeah, I just learned it before my last race, so like a few days ago.
Yeah. So I would say that's pretty good. You know, when I first learned, quote unquote, learned the bomb hammer jump, I walked up to the spot, tried to line up my sword in a certain spot, didn't pause buff or anything, and that was not a good strategy. So you definitely have the better strategy, and I think with the more practice, you'll get it first try, easy peasy every time.
Yeah, that and I'd never died up there in Thieves. I just happened to get run into by the guy trying to dash out. Luckily, I had bombed the wall already, or bombed the ceiling already, so it didn't lose as much, but that was just a weird place to die. I kind of had to scramble and think of what to do next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call from you, though, about that.
But yeah, that's about it. After that, I actually played decently. I had like 4 golds towards the end down the stretch, so I'm okay with that.
Oh wow, that's a
that's
lot of
really
gold. That's the fun thing about playing in the 140s in this game is you can just have a run with 5 golds, 4 or 5 golds.
Yeah, like
It's
all of
fun
my
times.
golds are still pretty meh, so it's pretty. I usually, if I do a full run, I usually get at least 1 along the way. So.
So, is anybody still left to race in the tournament? Anybody have races left to do?
That was my last one.
That was my last one too. The hot 1 and 2.
I think runnerwatcher said he has one more coming up this week. So do you guys have anything to say about, you know, your time in the tournament or anything like that?
Yeah, it was awesome. I think before like I started running it, because I hadn't run in practice at all for like 2 or 3 months, and then the tournament was like a week out, so I started doing runs again. I think at that point my PB was like a 137 or something, so I increased it by 3 minutes because of the tournament. It's a lot of fun to do it, so I'm glad it got put on. I know the amount of work that Scrivo and, well, Scrivo, I'm not gonna thank my brother. The amount of work that Scrivo's been doing. Green doesn't really do anything. Let's not lie here.
What about you,
Poor
Aweglib?
Green, yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna stick with this for a little bit and get at least to sub 140. I first learned 100%, so I kind of want to work on that a little bit too. It's a fun game to run. It's challenging, but it's fun.
Agreed. Well, thank you guys both. GG to both of you for your awesome races this tournament. And I'm excited to see how both of you do in the future with this game. It'll be great.
Thanks for commentating. I'm sure it was amazing.
It was alright.
Wow.
I'm
It
sure
was
all
amazing.
Josh's fault.
It was amazing.
I'll take the word.
I was excited and hyped the entire time.
Just like Josh does naturally.
Yeah.
Alright, and looks like we have more Link to the Past coming up on this channel at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, so that's in about 8 minutes from now. We've got Parisian player versus Andy, and Void versus Bentizi, so it's another 4-way, I guess. You're gonna have Hiei and Ninnies on commentary, so that should be exciting to watch.
That'll be a good race.
That should be a really good
Stick
race. I
around.
think
Really good.
those are all sub 130 runners. I think so.
Yeah,
that
actually,
should
Void
be-
and Bentizi both have 127s.
Yeah,
So-
that'll
Yeah,
be.
I
and
think Void has a
race.
126 now.
Oh,
So
does
yeah,
it?
I think that should be a really terrific quad there. I'm gonna stay and watch that. Thanks for commentating, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, runnerwatcher, and GG on your race. Yeah, so stay tuned and watch that. Yeah, so it should be pretty exciting. But thank you guys for watching this race and hanging out while we did commentary. And thank you, Josh, for commentating with me today.
Thanks for having me. Later, all.
See ya.